This week on Getting Deep, we have Damo Stanley, an entrepreneur who tried to kill himself and was brought back to life within 1 minute of when he would have had severe brain damage. We get pretty deep in this story. We go all the way from his childhood up to the point where it was the final time for him at that point, and how he turned it all around to make his life way better, and how he changed his mental state to be in the better position. So enjoy. All right, Damo, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
That's no worries. So you've got a pretty interesting story. I only know very small snippets about, but I guess I'll start this with how I met you at my friend's house. It was like a party house at the time. It was kind of, I think there was like, you were living there in a spare room. Someone was half living there. And I think everyone was drinking piss there every weekend from what I knew. And I would turn up every now and then. And it was one of those nights. It was just, wasn't meant to be anything big, but it turned into something big. And I think you came back with a couple of girls and a gay couple. And I didn't know they were gay. I just thought it was two dudes and two chicks. And they came back and it was late and I was pissed. And I was chatting to this dude and we're having a really nice chat like about music and shit. Because my music taste is a bit weird. And then we ended up going to that front room there and then having a chat about it. And everyone seemed to know what was going on except for me. They were all like, yeah, Darky's going to go fuck this guy. And I didn't think that was happening, but we was talking, and then out of nowhere, he's like, hey, man, I can suck your dick if you want. And I was just like, what? Like, I'm married, dude. I got kids and shit. Like, don't mean to be an asshole, but no, I don't want you to suck my dick.
Not the weirdest thing to happen at that place.
No. And then, well, this is where it gets even funnier, because I was like, all right, I'm going to go get a drink. And I went outside, and they were like, oh, did you fuck him? And I was like, what the fuck? Why does everyone know that this dude was gay? I didn't think he was gay at all. And then his boyfriend came out, and I was like, man, this is so fucking weird. Like, I don't believe I was giving off gay vibes. This guy's like, you don't give off gay vibes. And I was like, oh, that guy tried to suck my dick. And he's like, oh, it's my fucking boyfriend. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. Like, fuck. And he was like, oh, it's all right. Like, and then I was just like, oh my God, this is a situation where I'm very confused. But it was a funny night. And that was where I first met you. And then we played poker a little bit after that. But I think that was just before everything kind of completely changed. You went for a big transformation just after that, right?
Yeah, correct. We definitely had some loose times at that house. That was quite a random evening. I believe it was Australia Day. So
I think it was Australia Day.
I was at a party, friend's house.
That's right. I dropped you off in the morning.
Correct, you did.
Yeah,
you did.
It was Australia Day.
And we had quite a big one, and that was coming towards an end. And there was a few people that wanted to kick on, and living in the kick on house, it just made sense to come back.
It was easy, and there was people there ready to party and drink.
Yes.
Fuck, I don't even remember what I did that day. I know what I did that night, but I don't remember what I did that day. Yeah, I think I was busy.
We had like an Olympics at my friend's house. It was, quite a few activities going on that day, and everyone was pretty plastered by about 2.
And we just turned up, it was like late, it was dark.
Oh, yeah.
No idea what time it was.
Man,
dark, late. That's all I got from that. But you were homeless at like 21 as well, yeah? Yeah,
so I moved over from Victoria. I didn't have a great upbringing. I wasn't having a good early adulthood. I decided to make the move over to WA to try change some things.
Was it like the escape the normal shit so you can get away from it kind of thing?
Yeah, I had a pretty, from the outside, the life looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But on the, living it turned into hell quite quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, so when I moved here, things started off okay. I moved here to try build a relationship with my family over here that I'd never really knew in a way. I had a brother.
Was that like brothers and sisters and that?
Yeah, I had a younger brother and sister. I got to see him a couple weeks every year. and I'd kind of lost touch with my father a little bit.
Yeah. So your dad moved from Victoria over here.
He was over here when I was I was a little kid.
Okay. Yeah. So you didn't really know him at all while you were real young. You were just like single mum kind of situation.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have like a stepdad at any point, or is it kind of like maybe some float-in dudes, but no real sif, or was it like single mum pretty much?
Yeah. So I had one main stepdad, kind of contributed to the shit upbringing.
Yep.
Probably not an ideal situation for him either, but probably didn't give him the excuse to do the things that he did when I was younger, and the way he could have treated myself and my mum a bit better.
Yeah. Did your mum and him have kids together at any point?
No.
Nah, okay. So he was literally just stepdad. When did he kind of come into things, like when you were like 10?
He probably come into things when I was about 6 or 7.
Yeah, like real young.
Yeah, and he was a bit of a floater for a while, and then they become pretty serious. And then, after a bit of time, we're in a pretty bad situation, and then, he just sort of kicked us to the curb at a pretty bad time.
Fuck, even worse. Just like, yeah, get out.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much just said, I'm ready to move on. Catch us later.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, if he was a bit of an arsehole before that, it's probably like a bonus.
Yeah, he wasn't really an arsehole before it. It's sort of just a thing that escalated. I probably wasn't the best kid either, but...
Hey man, it's hard. Like, I was a dadless kid.
Yeah.
It's hard growing up with like a mum that, like, and my mum was young as well. My mum was 21 when I was born. So like, I don't know how old your mum was, but a young mum, I think about that now, like being 35, I've tried to raise kids since I was 21. The shit you do in that like 20, when you're 20 as a parent, and the shit you do when you're 30 as a parent, you're just like, oh, I'm so shit and so dumb and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But how the fuck is anyone meant to know? Like,
no, you're not meant to know.
And if you've got, like, I grew up with one parent. Like, I didn't know what a dad was like. I knew what a bad dad was like because I had a shitty stepdad for 5 years. So I was like, I don't want to do that. And that's all the opposite. I did all the opposite. And I tried to emulate things that I thought would be good, which the intention was there, but, like, it doesn't execute as well.
Yeah, so I had the same mindset, and that's probably a big reason that led me down to my darkest path.
Yeah.
Was
didn't think you were doing good enough as a dad?
Nah, not even close, and convincing myself that I wasn't going to get the opportunity to be a good dad.
Yeah.
I had all those privileges taken away once I separated.
As most people do?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how old was your kid when that happened?
My boy was 3.
3. Okay, yeah. So that's it's a pretty fucking rough time too. Like, my youngest was 2 when I broke up my ex, and like, I think it definitely adds to something there. Like, at that age, 2 to 3, middle kid was 3. It's definitely like it's a hard time, especially if there's no contact. It'd be fucked.
Yeah, and that's what was happening. I was having very minimal contact. And then when I did get him on those rare occasions, it was like I was a stranger again. So
yeah.
It makes it...
Scared to leave
really
mum and
tough.
shit. Yeah. Yeah. How old is he now?
He's 8.
8. Okay, cool. Yeah. Everything changes at 8.
Oh, massively, especially when you get your shit together.
Oh, yeah, look, yeah, definitely. That's definitely a bonus. So, how old were you when he was born?
I was 23.
23. So you went from being homeless, ended up getting together with a chick, having a kid, and then 3 years later that shit went to shit.
Yeah.
So you've kind of just roller coasted it up until realistically just not long after I'd met you.
Yeah, pretty much. And when we met was probably when I was close to my worst, I'd say. I was heading down a dark path, and I was heading down there really fast.
Yeah.
And then, that's what led to a few events. But then at the end of the day, that's what's led to a massive change in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it was like one specific turning point where you went, that's it, shit has to change?
Yeah, 100%.
And what was that like? Definite point.
The definite point was when I convinced myself either I'm going to make something of myself and not just make my way, but I'm going to make everyone look at me differently.
Yeah.
And or it ends here.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like die or succeed.
Yeah, there was going to be no in between. And I still live that way. There's no in between. I'm just going,
Trying
balls
to make it
deep in everything that I do now. So there's I feel like coming from such a pretty average upbringing, definitely wasn't the worst. I never complained as a kid. I knew there was kids out there that had it worse.
Oh, when I was a kid, you know what I used to always refer to make myself feel better? Was them fucking world famine ads. Was like the Ethiopian kids that were starving. Used to always tell myself, was just like, I'm not them.
Yeah. Well, a big one for me was I was friends with this kid in a wheelchair.
Fuck.
And we had class. We had all of our classes together, and I always thought, I can't feel bad when this kid can't even walk.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
like,
just...
Who am I to, complain about my life? This kid's never going to be able to walk in his life.
I think there's definitely something like... I think about it now as a kid having them thoughts. There's something fucking wrong to go, oh yeah, like, I shouldn't feel bad because they've got it worse. I mean, I think it builds some kind of resilience to be like, all right, you can deal with hard shit. But I think as a kid to have the thought that I can't feel bad even though I know this sucks because they've got it worse. I don't know if it was inbuilt or if it was taught. Like I just know that's been there forever.
Yeah, and I also think like from when I become a toddler, my life hadn't changed much from a toddler to a young teenager. So I never knew what I thought my life was normal.
Yeah.
And then you get older and you start seeing other kids with other families, and then it seemed like, oh shit, everyone's like that. Like my life's not even close to that. Is this what a normal life is?
Yeah, I used to have a massive resentment for rich people because of that.
Mine was more I resented people who had a family. Like I seen other kids and they had brothers or sisters and they all looked after each other. Yeah. And I just really wanted that. Like I never really had anyone to go to. I had good mates, but I just never had anyone close enough that would just be like, have my back no matter what.
Yeah. Oh, the amount of times I got beaten up by someone's big brother. Fuck, man. It used to do my head in. Someone's cousin. And I was just like, this sucks. Like, why am I the oldest person that, like, I've got to... This is bullshit. I'm getting beaten up by these older kids. There's nothing I can do about it because I can flog the kids that are my age. So, just to kill me. It used to be like, this is so unfair. Why can't I have a big brother? Or, like, why can't I have a fucking cousin or someone? But, yeah, I know the exact feeling.
Yeah, I was a little bit like that. But then I think, teaches you how to fight when you got no one else to look out for you either.
I love having conversations with people with nowadays that have never been in a fight. Like yes. I meet someone from like a nice suburb and I'm like, oh, have you ever been in a fight? And they're like, nah. And I'm like, it's pretty, it's fun. I'm like, have you ever been near a fight? And they're like, no. Like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I've been in too many fights, I guess. That was the thing. But I was like, I don't like them, but I've been in enough. So now, if it's into a point where it's like a fight's happening, I'm not scared of it. I know how to deal with it. I've got a joke that I'm kind of writing, which is like, I've got white trash privilege. Yeah. Like I know how to get in, out of a fight real easy.
Yeah, you got a bit of street smarts.
Yeah. So I think it's like a little bit more than street smarts. It's just like hood smarts.
Yeah, hood. Yeah, so I think where everything began, as a young kid growing up, I had my mother who had like severe mental illness.
Yeah.
And
do you know like what specifically she had?
Yeah, so she had like full blown schizophrenia.
Oh shit! So like full like hears voices and stuff.
Yeah. Used to terrify me as a kid.
Yeah.
Being a only child, sometimes I'd come inside and then, I'd be like 7, and then she'll start talking about like the witches in the house. And it's like, oh, I'm like, there's no witches. She's like, there's 3 witches in the house right now. I've been talking to them. And you're 7 years old, you're living alone with your mum.
You got to believe her, your mum.
Yeah, well, nights were pretty scary.
Yeah.
Back when you're that old, your mind plays that many tricks on you.
Oh, yeah, man. I used to have sleep at night a lot on. Like, yeah. I couldn't sleep, like, until I was an adult.
Yeah, I was a terrified child. And then what goes with that is, like, my mum was in and out of psych wards. I would get put with people who didn't want me around.
Yeah, yeah.
I was more of an inconvenience to everyone. I didn't have anyone there to really look after me. I got fed. I had a bed.
But that was it. It was just like, you're not dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so, my mind as a kid I was really focused on myself to just survive. I was always in survival mode, like my whole childhood.
Yeah, it wasn't like be a kid, have fun. It was like, how do I just not be upset?
Yeah, and sort of just like trying to cope with it. I think you just accept. I just accepted what it was, and
I think you really have a choice as a kid. You don't really know.
No, you don't. But when you get to see your mum twice a week and she's in hospital, and then you overhear some stuff. Oh, she's hurt herself. She's done this. She's done that. She won't eat.
Yeah.
And then you go visit your mum. She's got they've put a tube in her stomach to feed her because she refuses to eat. When you're 8 to 10 years old.
Essentially, like that, it's fucking.
That I got told, we're gonna move you away. We're gonna do this. You're gonna get moved to WA. You're gonna go live with your dad.
Yeah.
And then you just see your mum like that, and
then
you just don't want to.
Didn't have him moving either.
No, I refused it. I knew it would be such a better life.
Yeah.
And my dad cared about me a lot, and he really wanted that move, but my mum had no one. She was in that place.
Yeah, so you felt like you had to be the person to help her as opposed to helping yourself.
Exactly, yeah. So it was just, she's all I knew my whole life. We never really did anything else. Like we never had money to go do stuff. We were always at home. So she's all I knew. My life was, all I knew was her, and then I knew if I moved away, all her life was me.
Yeah.
And I knew at a young age that was probably a death sentence for her.
Yeah.
So I felt like a big responsibility.
You were guilted pretty hard into like being there.
100%. And I really wanted to have that life of, go live with a family and have that support system around. But, I just really couldn't do it.
Do you reckon, like, that was what led you to being pissed off later and, like, going down a darker path, was because you thought, you'd lost all this shit, you wanted all this stuff, and then when you're a teenager, you're like, I don't have any of this. And then did you kind of, like, hate your mum over it and then, like, have, like, some super resent there, or did that? Yeah,
for sure. I started probably resenting her at young adulthood when it sort of everything clicked to me that
when you start making things making sense.
That the life that I was living was really unfair, and then I sort of took it out on the world, like the world owes me something. And then still after all that, and not many family members, no one really putting in any effort for me.
Probably same thing with them is like, what the fuck? You got schizophrenic sister or whatever it is, and then it's going, and it's like mutt kid. Yeah. Because, like, unfortunately, that's what you are, whether you like it or not at that point.
100%, man. I completely agree. Like, I had family members cousins and uncles and that were pretty well off.
Yeah.
That had really good lives, had really good jobs, lived in a good area.
Yeah.
Had, drove nice cars. My mum used to get around a little Ford Laser that had the hubcaps off. Like,
that was standard, mate.
Well,
Standard.
when you get a bit older and, you got people driving around in like these average cars, and I thought they were like amazing. Like I was like, oh, how rich are these people? And
It's
then
just a standard fucking car.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
used to like $1,000
yeah.
bunkies.
yeah, exactly right. But then, you feel embarrassed getting dropped off to friends' houses and stuff like that. You don't want to be seen like that. I hid everything so well through like high school and that. I started skateboarding. I was out every day. I
didn't know you skated as well.
Yeah, it was quite good when I was young. But that was every day. That was my escape. The sport, skating.
Well, you know what my thought process is on skating is, right? It's a broke kid's sport for broken kids.
Yeah, well, skating's where I felt like I had found like a family.
Yeah.
There was so many of us that had
all fucked up.
So similar upbringings.
Yeah.
And, a lot of my friends' parents were junkies, and they would, that was their escape.
Yeah.
Get the skateboard. We were down the skate park every day, all day, after schools, anywhere we could find to go skate. We had there would be a group of 50 of us. At each time, there might only be 5, but we had such like a good group of people. Well, I wouldn't say good people, but a group of people that did look after each other.
Yeah. Like I'm a skater, still am, forever will be.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to kick, but it's the same thing. Like I grew up dog shit. I know heaps of people that grew up dog shit. We skated with some people that like had some like pretty good lives.
Yeah.
But like I was chatting to my friend about it the other day, and he was like, "You knew, you were the only one that was telling me to avoid certain things as we're growing up, because you knew." And I was like, "Dude, I know. I saw what was going on." And he's 10 years younger than me, and I was like, "I was just trying to make you not go in the same path so you could avoid it." Because I was like, this is what we are. It's obvious. If you've been there, you get it. And some of the other people who hang out, you don't see all the shit that goes on at someone's house.
No, you don't.
But if you've been there, you're like, oh, you can see it in a kid when they come to a skate park and the way they skate. You're like, oh,
yeah,
shit
you live
sucks.
here now.
Yeah.
You live here now.
This is it. This is where you belong, my friend.
Yeah, but the tough thing about that is you end up growing up on the streets, and then you get that street survival in you.
Yeah.
Where it's really hard to kick. I look back at those guys that I still look at as like good mates that I want to be there for. They're severely damaged people still.
Yeah.
They never got to escape it. They stayed in the same area. They didn't move away. They could never get a ball rolling because they always had this stigma that followed them.
But it's also the mindset. Like there is a massive
100%.
mindset that sticks with people that want to stay that way. I've seen a few people in skating that have a well upbringing, but they want to be like the rats that skate.
yeah.
So they act that way when they're not that way.
The rebellious kids.
Yeah, they're like you can see them. They're acting, oh yeah, I'm all this, and you're like,
No, you're not.
right. I'm seeing where you live.
Yeah, go home to your 5x3 with your pool.
Yeah,
pal.
you've got 2 parents.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, yeah. So then after that, got through sort of that tough period. My mum was always quite sick. Up to like a certain point, I got to 16 years old, and then I sort of had this like epiphany where I was like, let's try do something with your life. Let's, you can't just keep skating. You can't live off this dream of playing, sport.
Good.
No.
That's the thing is you don't realise that when you're younger.
No, you don't. But like it was getting to a stage, like I couldn't. My skateboard was so broken, and I couldn't buy a new one.
Yeah.
So I just tried to kickstart myself. I moved out with a couple of friends.
How old were you then?
I would have been 16,
16.
late 16.
Yeah.
Decided to go back to school to do year 11. When I was younger, I was undiagnosed with dyslexia.
Yeah.
And didn't know until, like midway through primary school. And then everyone's sort of handwriting and stuff would get a lot better, and it wasn't like through a lack of trying, but, I was severely behind, and my coping mechanism was, all right, let's become a bit of a class clown and get away from writing all this stuff.
Same thing I did.
But yeah, I was quite a smart kid. Math, I was always one of the top kids in the math. I was like guru at chess. I was like chess captain in grade 5 for the grade 6 teams. Went to like states and stuff. I was a pretty switched on kid, doing well in sports. And then hit high school, everything starts to change a little bit. You have
The dynamic changes massively from primary school to high school.
Oh, everything does. You've got new kids. Everyone wants to find their place. Everyone wants to find their sort of scene. I struggled a lot in that. Like, I had a lot of friends, but I never had like a really close bunch of people. And then, yeah, that's high school's where everything started to spiral out of control for me. I started getting, at the time, depression. I had this wicked anxiety that I could just never get rid of. Didn't know what it was. Had no one to speak to about it. My mum had her own stuff going on, her own problems.
Did you recognise what it was then?
No, I had no idea what was going on.
I only recently found out what anxiety was like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, right. Well,
and I was like, oh, that sounds familiar.
yeah. So, I had all that going on. I started losing like a lot of focus. I stopped skating. I started becoming a bit average at sports. My 2 escapes that, I used to get away. And then, everything started to go downhill when I started to notice that the way that people perceived me as, and it started becoming very obvious that I am now this kid who lives in the Commission area in Long Gully, which was, not the least desirable place to live.
Is that Victoria?
Yeah.
Where's Long Gully near?
It's in Bendigo.
Bendigo, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, you Google Long Gully, nothing good's coming up.
Fucking Bendigo.
Yeah.
Take you to Bendigo.
It's bloody stabbings, Grand Theft Auto, all the good stuff. But you don't even, you're not even living in a house. Like, you're living in a commission unit.
Yeah.
Nothing, you're not around anyone good. You're not around anything good.
See, I think I was a little bit oblivious as a kid. I don't know if I was oblivious or I just embraced being shit. Because like I would go to people's houses that were nice and I was like, this is fucked.
Yeah.
Like, why is your house like it's clean? It's fucking it's fucking weird. Like you'll sit at there's this one memory I have. I stayed at this Christian family's house. They went to fucking Maranatha. It was like a private school, and I was going to Safety Bay, and I stayed at their house. Everyone sat at dinner table for dinner, and like it was super nice. It was like heaps of kids and shit, and I just in my head was like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like I remember thinking it was crap, and I look at it now and I go like, they were probably just really nice, and it was just so uncomfortable for me because I wasn't used to nice. I wasn't used to, sitting with everyone at the table having an actual chat. It was just like, nah, this is fucking weird. Like,
yeah.
But it was probably good. So instead of that, I was just like, no, those people suck. I don't suck. They suck.
Yeah. I had such a resentment for people like that. I never let them know it, but oh man, I used to get angry with some kids that used to complain. It's like, you don't know how good you have it, mate.
Oh, I had fights with kids over that for sure. Like guaranteed. I've had plenty of fights. I'd be like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah. So then, a huge wake-up call to me. This is probably something that did send me on a bit of a spiral, getting to those puberty years and everything sort of clicking to me that, everyone's sort of getting older, a bit mature, that I didn't have anyone to look up to. I never had that male role model that I could implement in myself to become a man.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to speak to men. I didn't know, I'd go to people's houses and then I could feel like, okay. I'd meet some parents and then you feel it straight away. Oh, this isn't the kid I want you hanging out with, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I had people tell me that.
Yeah. And
I had kids say, "My mum said I can't hang out with you anymore." And I was just like, "Fuck her."
Yeah, dude.
She was probably pretty smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I probably wasn't a great kid or a great role model to any other kids. But probably the biggest thing that stuck out was at that age, my mum was in hospital and I was living with these people, and it got to my birthday.
So like 16, 17-ish?
No, I was still young. I was probably 12.
Yeah.
And then, for my birthday, they gave me a free calendar from Bunnings.
Fuck.
That was my birthday present.
Yeah.
I thought they were joking. I had a friend there, and I just remember him just start laughing.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a joke. He thought it was a joke. And then...
Because 12, you're old enough to realise that's fucked.
Yeah. And then, my friend went home and then I just got, yelled at that I was ungrateful. And I was
it's a fucking Bunnies calendar.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this?
A free one. So then...
Count the days till I fucking leave.
Yeah, and then it hit Easter, and it's probably one of the things that I looked forward to most. And we never had any money or anything, but my mum always made sure we had a wicked Easter, and we did our Easter egg hunts. We made a big day of it, and she was in hospital. She gave him a bunch of money to do the same thing, and then I woke up in the morning. They gave me one egg, and they pocketed the money, the rest of the money.
Yeah.
And then again, ungrateful. There's kids that don't get anything. And then it's
that's me.
Yeah. But I'm like, oh, yeah, you are right. There is kids that don't get anything. Maybe I am ungrateful. And then that was a mindset for me from then on that, okay, no, there is people out there worse off.
Yeah.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop, you've got a bed, you've got food. Get on with it.
Yeah.
And then... So we had a huge math test, a nationwide one, year 8. And I got a high distinction on top 2%. And then I got dragged into the office with 4 teachers and the principal who interrogated me of who I cheated off.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted to know who I was sitting next to.
No way could the bad kid fucking...
Yeah, no way could this kid be getting that. He's cheated.
Yeah.
And, you're sitting there with 4 adults.
Yeah, with no parents to fucking back you up or help you out.
Belittling you, basically, trying to get it out of you, pretty much saying there's no way that you've done this.
Yeah.
And then I just remembered, feeling after that, I'm that kid. All right, there's no denying it now. I am that kid.
Yeah.
Everyone sees me as this kid. I don't feel like I'm that kid, but everyone says, so I must be that kid. So I went through the next, 5 years thinking I'm that kid. I'm just that kid from the commission area in Long Gully.
Yeah, I'm a shit cunt.
Whose mum's in a psych ward, who hasn't, his life's basically over. He's not going to ever amount to anything.
Yeah, I had plenty of teachers say that. Pretty funny.
Yeah, well, I full believed it.
Yeah.
So then I just went, yeah, that's me.
I think when I was younger, I did the complete opposite. Whenever someone was like, you're going to be nothing, I was like, I'm going to be fucking moonie and you're a teacher.
Yeah.
So fuck you, dude. You don't know shit.
Yeah, I'd love to go back and see these teachers now.
Oh, look. I don't remember the ones that said the fucked up shit. I think that's kind of I remember a bunch of teachers, but there's a couple that are gone that I know what year they're in, but I don't know their names. can't put a picture to their face. And I was like, they must have pissed me off so much that I just went, they suck. Delete them from my brain. And they're just not there.
Yeah.
I was having that thought the other day. I have no idea who my year 6 and year 5 teachers were at all. I know 3, 4, 7, and then all my fucking high school teachers, but 5 and 6 is gone. Completely gone.
Yeah, I've got a pretty warped memory of high school teachers for sure. Sorry.
That's the stress.
And then, so then, moving on from there, you start hanging out with those kids that you feel comfortable with, the ones that do welcome you in because, they're in a fairly similar boat. I never felt like I really fit in there though.
Yeah. I think when it comes to like fucked up kids, none of them ever feel like they fit in.
Yeah.
Like even when it's like you're all fucked up, but everyone feels like no one fits in.
Yeah.
You kind of just force it. Skating was realistically the only place where I was like, all right, I fit in here because like, this is it.
Yeah.
But if it was outside of that, hanging out with fucked up cunts that didn't skate, I was like, you guys suck.
Yeah.
But
100%.
this is my only option.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's where I was sitting at. Like, you learn all your skills from living on the street. Like, you're out at night time with those people. You start drinking from a young age. You start smoking weed from a young age. And that sort of becomes your life at a young age. And, you grow up, when growing up with those people, you learn those older kids, you sort of learn those skills of how they've learned to adapt with that lifestyle. And, we did some shocking things like break into cars just to get a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And it snowballed from there, and it was like, all right, man, I'll buy an ounce of weed so I can sell it to make a little bit of money at 16 years old. That's
the bonus is it's actually a smart thing to do.
yeah.
Like,
oh man,
that
teaches
teaches you like some shit.
that taught me some wicked life skills. As bad as it is, like, that hustle, you never really lose that hustle once you start that.
Yeah,
hustle.
once you know how to fucking buy and sell, anything, like that corner that you can't see in the camera is a bunch of DVDs that I buy and sell on eBay. That's what all that shit is. I'm not watching any of that shit. But it's that thing is like, if you figure out that there's a market for something, you can go, all I have to do is get it at this price, sell it at this price, and that's profit. Like, I used to sell cans of Coke at school.
Yeah, man. I used to steal my mum's smokes.
Yeah.
I never smoked. Used to hang out with all the kids that smoked.
And sell them to them.
Yeah. So I used to steal.
I tried to sell smokes at school once, and I got cracked and the packet taken.
Oh.
So I was like, you know what? You guys are way bigger than me, and I'm not going to continue this. I'm not going to sell cigarettes. Fuck it.
Yeah, well...
continued my Cokes and chocolate bars.
The kids that I hung out with were the kids that no one really messed with, so I was pretty safe.
Also, I got lucky. It was like 50-50, but the ones that cracked me and took them, I was like, this is just a war that I can't win. So
yeah, you gotta know when to give up.
You keep.
Yeah, and then so I was pretty lucky to get out of. I kind of noticed. Oh, so I went to Bendigo Senior for year 11. Decided to go back to school, try to do something.
And that's when you were selling weed as well?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Not too much. I was trying to get a little bit of work here and there. So, yeah, I was going to school, learned very quickly that there was a reason why I left school in the first place. But, I had some... When you're 16, everyone's still going to school. 16, 17, everyone's still going to school. So I just went there for more of a social setting.
Yeah.
I felt like, I'm never really going to make anything of this. I was never going to pass many classes. I felt I was still undiagnosed dyslexia.
Yeah.
Had horrendous anxiety, and was just so confused in life. No one to go to, no one to talk to about it. I was embarrassed. I acted like everything was fine, but inside, I was living this nightmare. So when that year finished, they told me, look, don't do year 12.
Not worth it.
We're going to pass you in year 11, but don't do year 12. We're not going to let you do year 12. We shouldn't have passed you in year 11, but you come to school the whole year. We're going to.
You were here, so we'll fucking pay it off. But just don't be a dickhead and come back and waste other people's time.
Yeah, basically don't waste the teacher's time in the end.
Oh, and the disruption of the class and all the other people and shit.
100%, which I love doing. So then I was like, all right, where am I at? Tried to get a job. No one wanted to hire me. So I decided to do a pre-apprenticeship, which happened to be at that school. So I was back to that school the year later.
So the school was like a TAFE kind of thing as well.
Yeah, kinda. So I did the pre-apprenticeship, which was the equivalent of doing year 11 again. So you had to do like a basic math, a basic English, and then pick sort of like a trade you wanted to go with. Yeah. So I did woodwork, tried to do it. So I did it as carpentry. Found out really quick that I don't want to be a carpenter as well, but I'd already signed up. So let's go through it. At this stage, so I was living out of home, 17 years old, really trying to make something. It's like, all right, here's a little kick up the arse you need. Prove to yourself that you can do this. I knew I wasn't going to be a carpenter when I started doing it. Seen some other kids doing some other trades like electrical, and I was like, really wish I did that. Still like in a pretty bad place. Started as friends with some older kids. They were going out clubbing.
Pretty much teenagers.
Yeah.
Old adults, pretty realistically, if you're like 17.
Yeah, well, I was 17. I started hanging out with some older kids, and they were, 18, 19. They were going out clubbing. So I got myself a fake ID, looked 13.
As you do.
Looked 13, got let in everywhere. Crazy.
Well, I remember the first place I went when I was 17, I used to get in everywhere because I looked like I was like 30 for some reason. And I remember giving someone an ID with a guy with blonde hair. And I got in with it, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
It wasn't even fake. It was just somebody else's, and they were blonde. And didn't look like me at all. And I was just like, that's me. I was like, get in. Sweet.
So then, these guys weren't like close friends or anything, but they were a wicked escape. So I used to go out, had no money.
Yeah.
And, I was just trying to scab drinks, and people would give me a drink here and there and find a way to get drunk. And just like having a good time. And like those nightclubs were like such an escape from everything.
So different when you're that young.
Oh yeah, it was actually quite surreal being that young, going to school still with those kids that didn't go out.
Yeah.
That never seen that sort of life. And, I used to try talk it, come out, we'll get you an ID and we'll go out. And no one was really interested in it.
I remember the first time I went to a nightclub when I was 17. It was fucking scary.
Oh, yeah, I was petrified. All these older dudes, there was a few bikies getting around back then in those nightclubs. A few people that I knew were associated. And then that's when you start to, start knocking around with the wrong people, because like all these popular rich kids still don't want to know you when you're going out. And I think these other people sort of pick up that vibe and
they know,
kind of take you under their wing. Yeah. But yeah, not the type of people that you really want to be knocking around with, especially at that age. Especially at that age,
If you can move that just like a little bit closer to you. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
And then, so I got myself in like this weird spot. We had a club that we went to frequently. Turned 18, there's no way like these people didn't know that I was
I think
under
it was
18.
so much lax. Like,
they didn't give a shit. There was never cops around.
for sure. Like when I was like 20, you could see it.
Yeah.
You're like, there's 16-year-old girls in here.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
yeah.
I knew there was.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
then,
know that they're at school and you're letting them in. Like, how the fuck is this happening? You're like, oh, fuck, it's not my problem.
yeah. So, I think.
That shit wouldn't happen nowadays, I don't think. I would
Nah,
be surprised
no
to
way.
see a 16-year-old get in anywhere.
Yeah, nah. I don't think. I think that you got your special few that might do it.
I just think it'd be so much harder.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be harder. Man, we used to just like lick stamps on our wrist and put it on someone else's.
That was the easy way.
Yeah, and then you just walk in. These people didn't care because you're going up there to spend money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that sort of become my life, school, and then that was my escape, was going to these clubs on a weekend with these people, and then you start to get to know people a bit better. You start to realise what's going on. That's when you start, like, I got introduced to some like harder drugs. I never really, wasn't interested in them at all. And then I had a guy come to me who was pretty much like, I was talking about how I was struggling with money. I was living not on my own, but in a share house, so I had to pay rent. I was still going to school. And he sort of was like, yeah, I can help you out. I can front you some MDMA caps, and you go sell them, and then you pay me back. So I was like, yeah, cool. I thought, these guys had my back, and at the time, clearly, as a kid and no real guidance, it was like, cool, this is a way that I can make money and take a bit of stress off myself, not realising the impact that I was making in my life and probably other people's lives. So the friend group that I had got to an age of where they started experimenting with these type of drugs, house parties and whatnot. I never wanted people to know that I was selling them, so I always acted like I could get them for you.
Yeah.
So that was the big thing. It was like, oh, he can get them. Oh, he doesn't sell them, but he can get them. So I had this, perception from everyone that I could get them for him, but I wasn't like a drug dealer. Yeah. You
obviously didn't want to tie yourself with that brush, but you wanted the money.
Yeah, exactly right. And I always acted like, I'll sort you out. That's what I pay for him, sort of thing. I'll just help you out, sort of thing. So I was doing that for quite a while. Got to a stage, this guy comes to me and he's like, oh, you get them way cheaper if you buy them in bulk. Like I was getting probably 20 at a time and selling them over 2 weeks. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, if you get 100, I can give it to you 20% less. So I was the little entrepreneur that I was at the time, thinking, yeah, cool, all right, let's do that.
That makes money.
And so I did that, and then a few people come back to me and they're like, oh, I don't think this is MDMA, man. And it's like, nah, it is. You're right. And then a few more people come back. Oh man, I don't think this is MDMA. I'm going, okay. Yeah. So I never was really taking it at the time myself. So to be honest, like I never even opened up a cap to see what it looked like at that time. And so I opened it up, and then I had a taste of one. It was like icing sugar or something. So I was like, okay.
You just got fully ripped off. Yeah,
and I paid this dude like every cent that I had for these 100, my rent money and everything. So then, I hit him up. Like, he's like, nah, they're right. I'm like, nah, man, they're not. Like, you're going to have to come drop the money off. And he's like, yeah, all right then. Well, you give me him back, I'll come pick him up. I'm like, yeah, no worries. So he pulls up, I'll go in the car, we drive off, and then that's like the scariest moment in my life where this dude just pulls a gun out on me and he goes, "You're not getting your fucking money back and you're going to keep buying from me." So I was in this position where like he knew I had no one to go to.
Yeah.
He knew that I didn't want people knowing what I was doing. So he seen this vulnerable,
spot to just fucking take your money.
very vulnerable kid. And yeah, pretty much just said, "You're going to keep doing this." So, terrified, like I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
I worked out like a deal with him where he would give it to me up front and then I'd pay for it afterwards. Like sort of learned my lesson that
so at
we're
least
not
it wasn't
paying.
fake shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then moving forward from there, it was just like this wild whirlwind where I ended up going to get this job at this nightclub, and I was still going to school. I opened on a Tuesday night, a Thursday night, and a Friday night and a Saturday night, and we would close at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
So I was working every night and still going to school. And I remember being at school and like always being tired. And I remember this guy kept coming into this classroom. I don't even know what his role was, but he used to come in and he used to give like these pep talks to us of like, how you can make something of yourself as a tradie and all this stuff. And he just had this thing out for me from the get-go. And he would always kind of give me a bit of a hard time. And he'd be like, "Oh, you always come in here, you're always tired, you don't care." And I was always like, "Well, I'm here. So obviously I care because I'm here." "Oh, this and that." And it was like, man, I'm 18 years old, living on my own. I have no one around me. I'm just trying to make some money to get by. And this is the only way that I can do it. This is the only place that gave me an opportunity to work. And that was my life.
Yeah.
I was doing that. I worked at a place that I did enjoy. But I still, you can't be a bussy for your whole life. So I was doing that. This guy was giving me a hard time. And I remember he goes, "I'm coming to the club tonight. I want to see what you're doing." So he come to the club and for some reason he brought his family and he come in with his son and they were sort of at the bar, and I just remember the look on this dude's face, and he starts laughing, looked at me and started laughing with his son. And I was like, this is a grown man.
Like trying to show his son someone that sucks or something.
Yeah, and then, I was kind of a bit pissed off. I didn't really want to go to school the next day because I knew he was going to be there. I rocked up a bit late and I walked into this classroom and all the kids started laughing at me. And I just see this dude up at the front of the room and he's got this big smirk on his face. And I just remember having to go at him going, I'm just trying to make things work for me.
Yeah.
You're a grown man. You're a grown-ass man. And you're trying to give me a hard time. And he goes, there's 12 other kids in this classroom who actually want to make something of themselves. You're working at a nightclub. And I was like, okay, yeah, because all these kids go home to their fucking families.
Yeah,
and I go home to a fucking bed. I have a bed that I barely afford fucking food. I have to cook this shit myself. I don't know how to cook. I'm fucking 18 years old, And you want to stand there and give me a hard time. You want to belittle me in front of all these kids. Like, I've got to come...
Meant to be a teacher, not a fucking cunt.
Yeah, I've got to come to school and see these kids every fucking day.
Oh, his obvious goal was to get you out. That was the plan.
Yeah, I feel like it. I think it's because, I didn't want to be a carpenter. He was a carpenter. That was his thing.
Yeah.
And he always tried to push it. And I was just like, nah, not for me, dude. Good on you for loving it, but not for me, man. I don't want to do this shit. Like, that work sucks. At that time, I thought that work sucked. there was way cooler shit that I wanted to do. I thought there was a lot more to it. There probably is.
Dropout.
Yeah, carpentry there is. There's some wicked shit that you could do, but when you're that age and you're getting taught,
I have no interest
basics,
in any of that shit.
Yeah, and I was just like, nah, I don't want to do this. This isn't what I picture myself doing for my life.
Because something I figured out in high school was like, for me anyway, and what I noticed in Safety Bay, like it's a lower demographic workers area. They push tradie, like that's what they fucking try and push everyone in. They're like, everyone needs to be tradies. Tradies the best way to go. What kind of trade do you want to do? And I was like, I don't want to do any trades.
Well, to be fair, the area that I grew up in...
Well, Bendigo's similar, isn't it?
Well, you have to be a tradie, otherwise you're not going to be fuck all, really.
Exactly.
There's nothing.
That's what they kind of teach you. And it's like, it's bullshit that a school is like that. They're like, oh, you're a shit cunt.
Yeah.
Tradie. That's the best you can do.
Yeah, go get an apprenticeship now.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't want it.
Yeah, and I don't know anyone to get me a fucking apprenticeship. No one's hiring some dude walking in off the fucking street who doesn't own a car. Who's like, mum has to drop him off in the fucking Ford fucking lot.
Who picks him up from a different house.
Exactly right. So I was in like this weird position, and I had this like vendetta against this dude of where I was just like, fuck this guy. And it pisses me off now that I think this way, but I was like, fuck this dude, like I'm gonna kill this class.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start killing this class. And I was like talking to a few people, and I'm like, well, I've got to work still, but I'm tired all the time.
That's a good mentality to have. It's like, fuck that guy, I'm gonna be so good at this, there's nothing you can do about it. Like I use that to this day.
Yeah, and then the thing that I hate most about that and having that mentality was I was introduced to hard drugs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was...
to keep you awake.
I was taking speed. No one knew. So I was finishing work at like 5 a.m, going home, having to get up at like 7:30 to go to school. So I didn't even worry about going to sleep.
Yeah.
So I'd take small amounts of speed to just get me through. And then, we become quite a tight-knit group. I started making a bit of money, extra money on the side by pushing events at the club, and the more people you sort of brought in, the more money that you would get, and I was starting to make quite good money from that.
Yeah.
The downfall from it was the people that I was getting to come, because all those kids were starting to hit that 18-year-old age, and the club owners like, bring the girls, make sure you get the girls here, that's what brings the guys, and that's who spends the money. So my big drive was getting all those girls from school to go there, but not trying to make it like, I'm making money out of you coming, but let's get this party going. And I was just spending heaps of money buying like drink cards off people just to give to my friends to make sure that they were having a good night. And that was sort of like the bargaining chip was I'd give them drinks.
They'd come.
They would
You'd get
come.
paid the promoter fee.
Yeah, and it was a wild cycle of I was making like at the time good money, cash too.
Yeah.
And selling a few things here and there on the side, especially when lockout hit and everyone started getting a bit desperate. And that was my life, and it was, to be honest, at the time, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You become pretty popular. I was allowed to drink while I worked. I was allowed to, have a good time. Then it sort of become
you're a party promoter, you've got the drugs.
Yeah,
you're fucking getting people entry.
But
you've got free drinks.
I'm still a bussy as well.
Yeah.
So but we had like such a good crew. Everyone did look after each other quite well. Look back on it now, and it's like, fuck, I got taken advantage of severely.
Yeah. That's how you learn, but.
Oh, 100%. But I was stuck. There's nothing else that I knew other than like partying and going to school. And then once I stopped school, it was my depression and anxiety just was so coming down. Because at that stage I started to get quite hooked, and I was still taking it even though I wasn't going to school.
Yeah.
It was a
It just became
coping
normal.
mechanism. Yeah. So I was like I was just living this lifestyle. I remember looking in the mirror one day and I was like skin and bone. Hadn't seen the sun in like 3 weeks. And, you know, the only reason people wanted to talk to me was because like, oh, you know, what events on this week, what DJ's playing,
Yeah.
can you get me this, you know, sort me out with 3 drinks and I'll come, you know, early to the club. And then I was like, okay, I need to get away from this.
Yeah.
This is slowly killing me. And there was like no...
It was empty. It wasn't like real friendships. It was just fucking...
No, it become not like very little friends.
Yeah.
And my close friends that I had growing up, they disappeared because they weren't like the clubbing type. So now I'm friends with all these popular kids that want to go clubbing, that, you know, want to take photos with everyone, who dress nice, who wanted to get girls. And then I become sort of in that scene. Life was just, it just felt so fake.
Yeah.
And there was one day I realised that, and I was like, okay, like, as fun as this is, when does it end? And what's the goal now? And there wasn't one.
Yeah.
So
it was just existing. Like, if you
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
an
that
aim,
was that was my life. And the person, you know, the guy making all the money was this dude who owned majority of that nightclub.
Yeah.
And
the dude that pulled a gun on you earlier.
Hey?
And the dude
Oh,
that
yeah,
pulled a gun.
yeah. I mean, yeah. They were making quite good money. So I decided to make the move. I drove, brought this cheap car.
Over here to WA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
How old
I
were you
was
then? I was
19.
19, yeah.
I decided, let's go. You know, I spoke to my dad. I said, you know, can you help me out? Can you get me a job? I really need to start doing something with my life. I want to be around my brother and sister. And the hardest part was to tell my mum that I'm out.
Yeah.
And at the start, she was all about it. She said, yeah, you need to go. You need to do something with your life. There's nothing here for you. Then she had another episode, and not long before I left, she sort of was like, you're not going anywhere. You're not leaving me. You can't leave me. And if you do, you're not my son anymore.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
That was like 2 days before I had to drive to the other side of Australia to completely change my life.
Yeah.
I was stuck. I just felt so guilty. And again,
how did you like convince yourself to still do it with that in your head?
I just looked around at the kids that I was friends with that were living the similar lifestyle but had a way out.
Yeah.
One of their parents.
So you could identify that the people had better options than you, and you were like, this is bullshit.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, so they had jobs lined up. They already, you know, some of them already were like apprentices. Some of them had finished school and had half decent jobs, getting paid half well. And then they all had options. I never had an option. There was no way anyone was going to give me an apprenticeship. There was really no. The only options that I had were sort of to do what I was already doing, and eventually that would have come to an end. I would have got found out.
So if you're selling drugs, like...
Yeah, like you're going to get that. And, you know, you're 18, you're not even thinking. You're not...
Well, you're doing it, realistically, you didn't have a choice at first. It was like, got a gun to your head, you're doing this. And you're like, okay. Until the point where it would have been like, this is fine now, because you're taking speed and shit all the time anyway, so...
Yeah. It was just this weird cycle. It was just this bizarre life. No one knew I was living it.
Yeah.
No one knew I was living it. And even the people I was living with, there was like a few things of where it was like, oh, well, you know, this dude's rocking up to the house and not coming inside, and I'm just meeting him at the car, like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, you know,
organising shit for the club.
Yeah, you know, I was just getting, he owed me a bit of money for this and that, and you know, I helped him out here and there, and I did a day's work with him there, and just shit like that, just whatever bullshit excuse I could come up with. And, you know, they're not stupid, but at the end of the day, they also didn't give a fuck.
Also young cunts.
Yeah, and they didn't care. So do what you fucking doing, dude. And
pay your rent on time.
Exactly. So, I made the move, I drove over here. I thought, yeah, here we go. I learnt quite quickly that I probably wasn't the most desirable person to be around if I wasn't that dude working at that club providing a service for people. And I struggled. I couldn't make friends. My anxiety was through the roof. I couldn't, you know, my dad didn't end up getting me a job that I was really banking on. And then, so I was at home a lot, and then he started to resent me quite a bit.
Yeah. Because obviously he hasn't had that time to, like, you're my kid kind of thing. It was more like you're an adult now and you're being a kid.
Exactly. It was exactly like that. And, you know, I never learnt how to be a man. I never had the skills to be an adult.
And he wasn't really being responsible about that himself either.
No, he wasn't. And that's probably why we had a lot of run-ins.
Yeah.
I went back to some pretty bad habits, not bad habits, but old habits of going out clubbing and stuff again. And, you know,
that's where you're comfortable. Like, you know, that's where you survive. That's where you're comfortable. And then you move somewhere to try and get away from it, and you're just getting told you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. And then I just
from the dude that was meant to help you not be a piece of shit.
Yeah, basically. You know, he had his own stuff going on. He was working FIFO. Things were pretty tough on him at home at that stage as well.
Did he have a wife or?
Yeah. So
that would have been really hard as well, because she's like, what the fuck? We got this adult here now.
Yeah. And we had quite a few run-ins ourselves, and
especially you would have had a nice little life before you turned up.
Yeah, well, I think
she would have just seen it as you ruining it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then he would have just been copping it because he was away at work, and she's like, what the fuck is this cunt here?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Basically, it was, you know, sort this shit out.
Yeah. I can see exactly how very easily see how that's happening.
Yeah, and you know, I already felt like I was a failure, so I couldn't sort of reach out to him to explain what was going on with me.
Yeah. And then he was just getting hammered by her about it, so it would have just been fucked.
Yeah, and the anxiety just started to get worse and worse, to a point where I couldn't even cope outside of the house.
Yeah.
I would go outside there. I would go to like the shops, walk through the shops, and just feel like I was in a dream state. That there was so much, like, I just felt like I didn't belong, that I had to just get back home and get back into that room. And
yeah. And then when you're there, everyone's getting shitty at you.
So yeah, so I didn't feel comfortable at home. I didn't feel comfortable outside the house. I couldn't get a proper job. I was doing a couple shifts at IGA, and yeah, everything just went from bad to worse. And I was stuck in this sort of situation that I couldn't get out of. And then I remember I started becoming dependent on alcohol again. And I had a couple mates, and I remember going out, and then I'd come home, and if he'd been out, he had a few beers. Like, you know, sometimes he would, he would wait up for me. And then that's when we would have a few confrontations. Yeah,
because he'd be full of piss. He'd see you're full of piss. He's like, you're not fucking doing anything.
Yeah,
His missus probably kicked him out of the fucking bed. She's like, get this fucking cunt out of my house. He's just going to rock up, piss later.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, he just one day he just turned around and he said, yeah, it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
not like I ain't been there before, cunt.
Yeah, so here I am out. Only now, you know, I don't know anyone to go move in with.
Yeah. How old were you then?
20. I think I was 20.
Yeah, 20, yeah.
So I was out. I remember sleeping at this park for a couple nights. I was friends with a couple people, and I stayed at their house. They had no idea that I was homeless.
Yeah. Just couch surfing, but they didn't realise that's what was going on.
Yeah, it was like, oh, you reckon I could, things aren't great at the moment. You reckon I can crash it? Yeah, no worries. Come around. And but then it'd be like, all right, I've got to go, because then it'll be too obvious what's happening.
Stay for too long, they're like, what?
Yeah, what are you actually doing? Yeah, so I ended up, so I was playing a bit of poker. That's when I first started playing a bit of poker. Before that, become friends with this man named Kim Griggs.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Kim.
Yeah, and I remember there was one day, I think he sort of like clicked on to something that he's a pretty observant fella. He sort of just clicked onto it, and he asked me, is everything all right? I said, to be honest, I'm homeless right now. And without the blink of an eye, he just said, you'll come to live with me. So I went to live with him around the corner from here, actually.
From here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baldivis. He was running an APL. He was running APL, his own region, and that gave me a bit of a stepping stone to start getting my life back on track. And
how old were you then? Was that still 20?
Yeah. So this all happened quite quickly, and
how long were you like homeless for in that period?
Probably for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Genuinely homeless.
Yeah.
Living out of like a bag.
Yeah.
A few nights out on the streets.
2.5 weeks ain't too bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah, like
it's definitely not. But like it could have been a lot longer.
Yeah. Like you kind of got like lucky. Someone was like, "How's it going?" You're like, "Nah, not good." And they're like, "My house."
Yeah. And it was like, I look back on it now, and it's kind of wild to think that he did what he did, because he had 3 kids of his own.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna take in a homeless dude.
just took in, gave. He didn't, like, we knew each other, but he didn't know me personally.
Yeah.
We had a few drinks together and whatnot and got to know each other, but that's just the kind of bloke that Kim is.
Yeah. He obviously can see, like, he's like, you're not actually a problem, you've just had problems.
Exactly right, yeah. And he had 2 kids sleeping in one room and 1 kid sleeping in another room, and he made the 2 kids go sleep in that one room. He made those
so it's like
kids
3 kids, 1 room.
3 kids in the one room.
Yeah.
Which is wild to think about.
It's not that, man. You'd be surprised. Kids are pretty good with stuff like that. Like, unless they're teenagers.
Yeah.
And then they're like, nah. Like my kids, when I lived in Como for that 1.5 years, they all had the same room. They were like a triple bunk, because I was like, look, house is getting built.
Yeah.
There's 2 rooms here.
Yeah.
You can have a toy room and a sleeping room.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And kids are like, yeah, cool.
Oh, those kids didn't care at all.
Yeah.
Like from the get-go, I was Uncle Damo, and, we're still pretty close. I'm still pretty close with them. But it is wild to think about that someone just went, yep, you're coming in off the street, you kids, that room, this is now your room.
Yeah.
And, you can come now, help me set up games. I had no money. He would pay for me to play poker. We would split winnings or whatnot. He paid for like every dinner for me, every lunch for me. And at that stage, his business wasn't doing fantastic.
Yeah.
He was so passionate about it that all the money he made, he put back into it. He was just so passionate about it.
And I know what the money side of the poker things is. It's fucking hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking hard, man. Like, you've got to pay X percentage to fucking charity. Then you got to pay X percentage to everything. Then you have to pay X percentage to fucking the government as a fee up front a fucking month in advance for everything.
Yeah.
So no matter what, like, before the game even starts, you're out of pocket a fucking bullshit amount.
Oh, yeah.
It's it's fine.
Yeah, so I was, again, like, I had somewhere to live. He was someone that I could open up to a bit more. I don't think he realised the struggles I was having mentally at that stage of where, all right, I know I need to get a job. I know I need to get my shit together, but I couldn't actually do it. Like there was like this barrier at that stage where like it just life was so hard.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like how do people deal with this? Like it's so hard. Life is so hard.
Yeah.
And there's no
especially
escaping.
if you've got no like support, no learnings, like everything you've learned is just stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck do I not do that and do what everyone else does? Because you just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I had little jobs here and there. Could never keep a job properly. Either, you know, the mental side, the mental illness side of things that were happening at the time got too much, and I just needed a break from it. I needed, you know, just like a week to myself, and then obviously with an employer, they
They're
need
like,
you.
nah, man, get the fuck out.
Exactly right. Yeah, let's get someone who's going to be here all the time. And then that probably put a bit of a strain on Kim as well.
Yeah.
I started to notice that. I lived with him for quite a while too. Then
Years or?
Not years, but quite a few months.
Yeah.
I decided, okay, it's probably time to move on from here now. He's looked after me enough.
Yeah.
I've sort of got on my feet a little bit, enough to be able to, you know, get a house share.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't like you're trying to get fucking a share house from the streets.
Yeah. I was, semi-established by then.
So realistically, fucking did you some massive solid.
Oh, hugely.
Yeah.
We still talk about it
Yeah.
to this day, and he will tell anyone, would never change.
Yeah.
Would never change a thing, and he's still like a huge support for me for heaps of things. And he not only did he help me get off the streets and start to get my life together, he also taught me so much more about life.
Yeah.
The struggles that he had, being an Indigenous man, and you know, then I get to be educated on that side of things too. So not only, you know, was I getting my stuff together, he was also educating me about life, and those skills have come with me, you know, from then. I probably learned more definitely learned more out of school than in school, but yeah, those sorts of stuff, they just follow you, all the stories that you get told, and you know, the truths that you don't get told.
Oh yeah, man. If no one knows you about the shit no one points out things that are going on that's fucked up, you don't even know. Yeah. Like, you just go on like it's all good. This is, I got my way through that. And then when someone's like, dude, that's not how life is. Like, that was someone who found a fucking way to take advantage and do all this, and you just went along with it and you think it's fine. Then you look at it from a different perspective and you go, fuck. Yeah. Like, that is way different to the way I seen it in the first place.
Yeah. But yeah, like it was time to move on. He did enough. He did more than enough for me. I didn't want to be any more of a burden to him. He was starting to do some other things in life and had some other goals. So I found a share house. That's where I met my ex, the mother of my first son. Yep. We ended up getting a place together. She fell pregnant.
How long were you together before she got pregnant?
We would have been together for 9 months.
Brutal.
And not like solidly together either.
Yeah.
We'd probably lived together for about 3 months. Not even. She sort of had her place, and then she was a bit scared to be on her own. So I ended up moving in pretty early with her. Yeah. From then, you know, things escalated. My first boy come. That's when a lot of things changed for me. I was in this mentality of I have to just hold down a job. Doesn't matter what job it is.
Yeah,
I have to hold down a job.
Which is
now.
like fucking torturous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, been there. It's ass.
Don't get me wrong, the bosses were good people, but this job was just like
Shit.
yeah.
Oh man, I've been in places where the bosses suck, the job sucks, and you're like, I need money.
Yeah. Well, that's where I was at, and my goal was like, I am going to do everything for my son.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Flip that switch to like, nah, I can't not do good.
yeah, exactly. I was like, this, my son's not going to know the feelings that I had to feel when I grew up. He's not going to have that life. Like, I'm probably not going to be able to give him like the greatest life ever, but I'm going to be there for him.
That alone is I'll be there is such a massive thing that people don't realise. Like, I know what it's like not having a dad.
Yeah.
But you try and tell someone's had a dad, I'm not like, oh, it's the end of the world, but it is a big difference.
Oh, it's huge.
Just someone that gives a fuck.
Yeah.
like that you talk to them at some point, be like, hey, like I need some help. They're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to help you, but you can actually call them.
Yeah, yeah. And, things... The hardest part was I never loved his mum. I would say that I did. But, I knew I never did. I just tried to do everything to make it work. There was, my
because you
mindset.
didn't want your kid to have the same situation you had.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I was going to put at the time, I thought happiness aside and would just make it work. I was just going to make it work.
There's a fucking word for it. It's a savior complex where you have to put all your needs aside to make sure this person's getting what they need because that matters more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously because we never loved each other, it was never going to work anyway.
Yeah.
No matter how much we tried to make it work. And
there's no way you can.
Yeah, she had
especially considering she was pregnant within 9 months. You just weren't even together. You didn't even get to really realize how much you don't like each other.
Yeah. The crazy part was before she got pregnant, I remember thinking I'm going to leave her.
Yeah. And then pregnant, you're like, fuck!
Yeah, well, it was kind of this surreal moment of
trapped.
No, it was kind of like, oh, this might be the thing that makes me pull my head out. I can, all right, you're pregnant, let's fucking do this. Let's make it work.
Yeah. You kind of convinced yourself that it was good, not fucking...
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I know, I was kind of like, yep, okay, then it is what it is, let's do it. I'm going to have a kid, and I'm going to make sure that kid's happy. And, yeah, obviously, it was never going to work. I ended up leaving her and just remember thinking I'm the worst dad ever.
Yeah.
And
I thought that for a fucking long time before leaving my ex.
Right.
It was, I wouldn't leave because of that. I was like, I didn't want to be here. I don't want this.
Yeah.
But I can't be a bad dad.
Yeah. And being away from him, I just had this feeling of no, I've got to go back.
Yeah.
I've got to go back. I can't do this to my son.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this to my son. I'm going to go back and I'm going to make everything work. She was on and off about it. She wanted to get back. She didn't want to get back. She started going out quite a bit with a couple of friends and enjoying herself a bit more.
Yeah.
Where my sole focus was I need to be there for my son.
I'm only here for the kid, not you.
I need. Yeah. Well, at that time, I was like, I need to make it work. So, tried to push these feelings that probably weren't there, and it was all driven because I was like, I just cannot give up on my son. I'm not going to give up on him.
Yeah. I know that feeling pretty well.
No matter what, I'm not going to give up on him. And then, she was like, nah, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. And then, that's when everything started to spiral pretty hectically for me.
Yeah. Well, it would have added to the Well, it would have took you right back to before when you had the kid, when you're thinking like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm no good.
Yeah, so I was
Straight back
still working that job that I didn't want to be at. I was sort of trapped there because I didn't have any money to like back myself to go do anything. I couldn't afford any tickets.
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything. Now I'm losing my son. The one thing that like was driving me to stay at this job and to like get my shit together, and she started denying him a little bit from me.
Yeah.
You know, like I start seeing some other girls, oh no, he's not being around her, or he's not going to that house.
Yeah.
You know, you can have him one day a fortnight.
Yeah.
And it's like he's not even gonna remember me. And I remember like just having him that one day and him feeling like I could see it, like I know this person, but I don't know this person anymore. And now I'm at this place that I've never been, and I come here once a fortnight. Like I just want to be in my safe space at home, which I get.
Yeah.
And I like, so I
you're a kid. Like it's, if the excursion isn't amazing, it's like, fuck this.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So,
and if you're very used to comfortable, like kids get very comfortable in a house, especially if they don't go out all the time. They're like, I don't want to fucking go over there. And I know when I grew up, I remember hearing this 1,000 times over. It's, I've got to go to dad's for the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was like every second weekend. I remember hearing that and people being like shitty about it. And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Are you annoyed about this?
Yeah.
I fucking hate my house. And you're pissed off that you get to go to a second one with another person?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
And they care about you?
Yeah. But I always thought, like, there was no way I could ever be a dad that had my kids every second weekend for that thought process.
Yeah.
It was like, it's like a punishment. Oh, I'll send you to dad's house. I remember people saying shit like that, and you're like, sick. Please?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So after the breakup, I kind of, all those wicked anxiety attacks come back. Everything was playing on my mind. It was, you know, I wasn't seeing my son. I don't want another guy to be in the picture. I don't want him
to replace you.
Replace me.
Yeah. Because you don't know if he's going to do a good job. You might do what fucking your stepdad did for a while.
Yeah. But it was also the mindset of like, that's my job. Yeah. That's my job. That's all I have as well. Yeah. Like I hate my job. I hate everything else going on in my life apart from my son.
Yeah. My focus is trying to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, you know, like I had some like, I started going down a really bad path. I moved out of the house that I was in. I become friends with Mitch. Mitch said that he had a spare room. I went there to try and, you know, sort of felt like, you know, they drink there a fair bit. He's mates with a few of my mates. You know, that can be my escape again. Yeah. They're going to be drinking there 3 nights a week. There's going to be multiple people around. There's girls around. Yeah. You know, that sort of thing. And that was like an escape for me for a while. I hit a stage of where, you know, where things just got so bad and I was just pushing those feelings away, still trying to cope with this anxiety, and I just remember one day everything just went really dark on me. Yeah. Really dark. And I didn't feel any emotion anymore. Nothing felt real. Everything felt over. Yeah. Everything felt over. It was just this.
Like you just failed at everything.
Yeah, and it was like I was, every day I had like anxiety, and then this day was just like everything was just numb. Yeah. Super numb. And I didn't feel anything, and I was like, fuck, like this might be it for me. So I remember thinking, all right, I'm going to call my dad and I'm going to ask him to go to the pub. And I'm going to have a couple drinks with him there. and I'm going to see how I feel. Because I had no one else to really talk to. I thought that's a place where we go. Sometimes we open up a little bit there, and you know, that might be something that gets me out of this feeling.
Yeah. Because realistically, like, you haven't had a relationship with him this whole time either. So it's like, if that's the best thing you've got, it's nothing realistically as well.
Yeah, and we were getting a bit closer, and at this stage, because I hadn't been around too much, so when we did catch up, it was a bit better. We still weren't close. We weren't super close or anything, but things were better. We could hang out with each other.
Yeah.
And my ex would only let me have my son at their house.
Fuck.
Yeah. That was part of like the only way that I could see him. So I was there once a fortnight with him. But I remember thinking this day, all right, I'm going to go to the pub with him. I'm going to see if I feel anything. I need to feel something because this is worrying me.
Yeah.
The fact that everything has just gone numb and dark, I just felt like there was just like this real eerie feeling in my body. And I went to the pub with him and I didn't feel a thing. We sat there and he was like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yep." And I just remember going, "Oh, I'm not even happy at the pub with my dad. I'm not even, like, I don't feel anything at the pub with my dad." So then we went home. I got home and I was sitting in my room and I just went, "This is it. This place isn't for me."
Yeah.
And now I accept that. I've just thought about my upbringing and how I never had a hope.
Yeah.
Like, I thought I never had a hope. So I just remember getting some rope and I made this little knot around the door and wrote, I had 2 housemates at the time. I knew Mitch was home and I thought the other housemate was out. So I wrote the other housemate a message apologising that I didn't want anyone to find me, how I was going to be found. So almost like preparing him to like be like, fuck, there's going to be a fucking dead person at the house. So like I wrote him a message. I wrote my parents messages pretty much just saying, like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Love yous, but this place isn't for me.
Yeah.
And so I wrote that to them. People trying to call me, so I just turned it off. I remember writing this huge Facebook thing, pretty much like explaining, like, I didn't want to be known as this dude who just like gave up.
Yeah.
But it was more of a, this is an escape for me because like I'm living in torture and like it's not worth it. It's really not worth it for me. This isn't like a cry for help or anything. This is like I'm finally decided this and I don't want anyone to be upset about it. I just want, this is my escape.
Yeah.
Just know that I truly want this.
Yeah.
And this is my escape. So I remember writing that and then Facebook wouldn't post it.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I think there's like this thing that like Facebook won't allow those posts.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty surprising.
And I got annoyed by that.
Do you reckon that's to stop people from doing it?
I think so, for sure.
Because like, oh, I can't do it now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, now it's like, oh, because my thought was, fuck, I don't want people to just think that I gave up because, you know, this or that.
Yeah.
Like, I want people to know that, like, I'm happy with this decision and this is what I wanted to do and now I'm free and...
Yeah, it might like give people that extra 5-10 minutes to, like, not do it, like, for someone to catch them or something.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never thought of that. That's pretty crazy to think that Facebook's got that inbuilt in it.
Yeah, so I ended up writing it out on my notes on my phone and I was just going to leave my phone. So when they checked my phone, bang, notes were there. And, you know, they could tell someone and then the people I was closest to would know why. I was pretty detailed about it, that I was content on this idea. And then I wrote that last message to my other housemate who I didn't know who I thought was out. I wrote that, I sent it, and then I wrote a letter for my son, and then just like a letter for everyone else.
Yeah.
And sent that message to my housemate and just went, all right, let's go. And I hung myself, and I remember, so I was out straight away, and then
From the door?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hung myself from the
no
door.
feet on the floor kind of thing.
No, I literally just sat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sat. So I wasn't up in the air or anything. I just sort of put it around. To be honest, I don't even know how I really done it. I might have put the rope from the outside of the handle over the door and did it that way.
Just sat into it.
Yeah, so I put it around my neck, and then I just sat, and I remember things starting to go dark, and then the only way I could describe it would be like a full-on DMT hit of when I come back alive.
Yeah.
And so my housemates found me, and they cut the rope, and I was out for quite a while.
Yeah.
The rope got that tight that they couldn't get it off my neck. And then I just remember this huge, coming back to, or coming back alive, or wherever my brain was at that stage. And all this big rush through my head of all these photos and all these feelings and all these memories and all these flashes, and then just felt my body take this huge hit, and then I was out again. It was black, and then I woke up in an ambulance.
Yeah. So you woke up and then straight back out.
So it was almost like, the oxygen's hit your brain, but not
the lights aren't on yet.
Yeah, they're not on yet. You're your body's functioning.
Yeah.
But you're not there. So I remember slowly waking up in the ambulance, and this lady saying his heart rate's really low, and a few people freaking out, and then I sort of come to, and I remember just sitting there going, fuck me, I couldn't even kill myself. That's how fucking useless I am. And when I was sitting there and things were starting to go black, I felt this freedom.
Yeah.
You don't have to stress anymore.
Yeah.
It's
done.
done.
If you did it literally from just you could have stood up at any point.
Yeah.
Literally could have just stood up.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't oh fuck, I shouldn't have done this. It was, you were doing it.
Yeah. It was
it's wild. You followed through. Realistically, the only reason you aren't dead is because someone found you.
Yeah, and thankfully he was home at the time. I thought the guy that I sent the message to, I thought he was out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to send it to the guy who was at home.
Because then he'd just fucking walk in.
Because he would come find me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to prepare him to be I'm so sorry that I've done this to you.
Yeah.
But I don't have a choice. It's if I've made up my mind. So I remember sitting in that ambulance, and I just remember seeing this dude, and he's shaking his head angrily at me, this paramedic, and I just sat there. It was quiet, and I was I was there. I was fucking there.
Yeah.
And everything felt it had, when I was going out, it just felt like this rush of fucking freedom. I was I've made the right choice. Yeah, so I'm in that ambulance. We're going to the hospital. I remember because my body was still quite weak. I was out for long enough to do a bit of damage. Do
you know how long?
So they said if I was out for another minute, there was no chance of coming back.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I would be in a vegetable state.
Yeah.
At best case scenario,
you were just
in a vegetable
oxygen
state.
starved enough to become a veggie.
Yeah, it was, and I was sitting there. I was laying down in the ambulance, and my tongue was swollen. it had swollen up that much, like it filled like my mouth, so I couldn't even talk properly.
Is that like a thing that happened from like?
I'm assuming so. I'm assuming it happens to everyone.
Yeah, I assume because like your Dr. ABC, that's what you meant to get the tongue out, so that makes sense. That's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I just like sat there, and it was like swollen, and this dude's just looking at me, shaking his head. I was like, "Fuck!" I was just there. I was just there.
Yeah.
And I sort of was really tired, and like my body was still struggling a bit, so I just like fell back asleep. They were trying to keep me awake, and I was like, "No, I'm going to fucking sleep." And then...
Is that they were trying to keep you awake because like they thought that's it, you'd die if you went back to sleep? Is that kind of the idea?
Oh, I don't think so. I think like the body was like, yeah, okay, we're still alive. Let's fucking keep it going. Let's get it going. And I don't know why. Yeah, there might be some reason. Maybe like for brain injury or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then went to Rockingham Hospital. They took me to Rockingham Hospital, and my dad met me there. But I was still out of it. I was still sort of like asleep. Then I sort of looked up, and it's like the first time that I've ever seen him cry. He was just sitting there, and he's like, "I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna fix all this.
Yeah,
we're gonna fix it. We're all going." Like he goes, "I'm gonna do it myself." He goes, "I've struggled myself. We're all gonna do this. We're gonna do this together." It's like the first time that I was like, at that stage, I was still like, fucking pissed off that I was still there.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like sitting in a fucking Rockingham hospital. All these people know I tried to kill myself.
Yeah, you didn't.
All my family know I tried to kill myself, and it was like, now I'm gonna be this fucking dude who's tried to kill himself.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be looked at differently. And the people that knew, I was like, please don't look at me as that guy.
Yeah. Like there's more to it than no one knows.
Yeah, no one knew, because no one read that fucking message that I wrote.
Yeah.
So they're all just looking at me as like I'm this fucking crazy dude who's just tried to kill himself because things haven't gone my way. Like, you've just given up, you're weak.
Yeah.
Not knowing that it's been fucking torture for like 15 years straight, non-stop, and nothing's getting better. It's just getting worse and worse and worse.
You just can't seem to get the kickstart that you need to get like the right bit. It's like, this is fine. It's like every time you get a little bit, you lose a lot more. It's just like, and like, they didn't, I thought, okay, well, at least they're going to give me some help here. They just sent me on my way the next day. The hospital?
Yeah.
I mean, what?
I thought maybe they would make me see a psych. Someone would come talk to me about what I'd just been through. And
there was none of that at all.
What can we, catch you later.
You're not dead.
Like, I was basically just like a inconvenience again. I felt like at that hospital I was just like another inconvenient person to them.
Yeah.
And
you're not injured anymore. Leave.
Yeah, it's like, and it was like, I was dead.
Yeah.
Like I was just dead.
Yeah.
And now you couldn't give a shit about me. This person's just tried to end his life, and you are just like, oh, this is cutting into my lunch break. Yeah. Come on, mate.
You're alive, dude.
Yeah. Catch you later.
Fuck, it's pretty wild to think that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like there's no mandatory 2 days, fucking.
Yeah. Or we're going to put you in this place until we're happy with you.
Yeah.
Like, how easy it could have been for me to just go back home and do it.
It's like, all right, this time, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I'm not telling anyone, and we're going out.
I've warned you. I've already warned you. See ya.
Yeah, so I got home. I just went straight back into that bedroom, and I sat on the bed, and everything was still in that room. Like, they had cut my shirt off. My shirt was there. I think I must have started bleeding from my nose because there was like blood around.
Yeah.
The rope was still on the door. All the shit from the paramedics, all the stuff that they ripped open, all the plastic was still on the ground, like nothing had been cleaned up. So I was like, I walked straight back into the scene that a day before
you were dead at.
I was dead. Yeah. And I'm here again on my own.
Yeah.
Again. On my fucking own.
Like, what was that more like a fucking... Do you reckon that stopped you from doing it again? Or do you reckon that maybe made you think maybe fuck it, let's go round 2?
So I had the most important conversation I've ever had in my life, and that was like a full one-on-one with myself of like, all right, what are we going to do now, and where do we go from here? So the conversation that I had was, we're going 100% into I'm going to become something, and now I'm going to get rid of anybody who I feel is a bad presence, and I'm going to start trying to look at what I can do to make my life better. So first thing that I did, I jumped on my socials. I unfollowed all the news.
Smart move.
So I wouldn't see all that negative stuff. I started following some nutritionists, some doctors, some, like my mindset was, if I'm just reading this stuff, then maybe, it's better than
osmosis,
seeing all
man.
the bad stuff.
If you're hanging around shit, you'll automatically gain shit. If you're looking at it, it sinks in.
Yeah, and my the mindset was, all right, we're gonna go 100%, and there's no excuses now. There's no excuses. Yeah. Like you've got a second chance at life, and like everything, like it almost felt like a weight off my shoulders, where I was like, everyone already thinks you're this person.
Yeah. Like you've hit before, everyone you thought you were fuck up and you were trying to hide it and shit.
Yeah.
Now there's no hiding.
There's no hiding.
It's done.
Yeah. So let's go 1,000%, and there's no excuses now. And if you go 1,000% for so long, and then there's like no way out of it, and you're still feeling the same way, then we do it properly.
Yeah.
Then there's like, I go out somewhere where no one is ever going to find me, or no one's ever going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I had that mindset of either we die or we strive.
Yeah.
And I started following some people, and I come across this man, David Goggins, which is like, he's pretty...
Carry the boats.
Yeah, he's pretty popular now, but like when I found him... he's fairly mainstream now. Back when
I think that would have been... Fuck. I'd found out about him fucking eons ago, and I think it might have been around the same time. Because it was poker times. I was listening to a bit of Goggin shit. And he was just kind of... There was a couple of like entrepreneur dudes that would hire him.
Yeah.
And that was all he was. And yeah, now everyone knows the fuck he is.
Yeah, everyone knows who he is. But oh man, the amount of people I tried to get onto him. But
he's aggressive. He's hard for people to get into.
But that's what I needed. I needed, like, there was always this stuff of like, things will be okay. It's okay to speak out.
That's not the way it is.
Nah, it's not. Like in real life, it's not. You can say one thing, you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, if the person's not going to go out and do it,
it's not getting done.
Yeah. Then things won't change.
Yeah.
And, I started watching him, and you see his life story, and, I thought I had it bad, like I never had a dad that beat me.
Yeah.
Or who would like cheat on my mum in front of her with like people in front of like me, stuff like that. So I'm like, whoa, this dude's had a pretty wild upbringing. And then his message was like, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. It's true.
No one gives a fuck. No. And then I was like, no one does give a fuck.
Yeah.
And then it was, stop doing this shit for fucking other people. Start doing it for you. And I was like, this big thing hit me, because like my whole life I was doing stuff that other people told me to do and trying to make them proud or happy.
Yeah.
And show them that, like I'm trying to do it, but it was, like it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. So... yeah, I started following this dude, and he was just like, fucking, don't be a bitch. And, I felt like that at the time. Like, I was like, fuck, I'm a bitch.
Yeah, conquer that inner bitch.
Yeah, and then and he was just like, yeah, like, no one gives a fuck. The world doesn't owe you anything. Like, it's not going to give you anything if you're not going to go out and get it. And then, that's when everything changed, and I started following a way more positive message, and I started looking around, and I was like, all right, who's my support team here? All right, this person, this is my support crew, and I'm like, they're fucking shit.
Yeah.
That's such a shit support crew. Get rid of them.
Yeah.
Need to get rid of them. All right, start from fucking scratch. Let's go. All right, I'm leaving this fucking job. I'm going to go work at this one. I've never done it before, and then did well.
Yeah.
And way more money. All of a sudden now, things are starting to change. Like, I'm keen to go to work. I'm happy to go to work. Work is like my happy place. All this stuff that I used to try and escape from, I just took like head on. Like, okay, I struggled to work 8-hour days, 5 days a week. Now I'm working 12-hour days, 6-7 days a week just to try get ahead.
Did you find a way to like enjoy it?
Yeah. Well, I was like, this big thing in my mind was like, got to be happy. I need to be happy. We got, the goal in life is to be happy. And then I sat there like thinking about it. I was like, how many times has like something good happened in your life and you're not happy about it just because you're in a shit mood?
Yeah, you ruin good things by being shitty.
Yeah, but then I was like, fuck, like happiness is just an emotion. It's
a choice.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's an emotion. Like, how many times have you been hungover and like something good happens? You're like, cool, I'm going to bed.
I'm hating myself right now.
Yeah. But then if you're in a different,
if you're not hungover,
you're like, oh, this is cool, awesome. Like, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit, like it's just an emotion. Happiness is just an emotion. I was like, okay, then what is the goal then?
Yeah.
And my mind was to have a purpose.
Yeah.
Now my goal is to have a purpose. Doesn't matter if I'm in a bad mood, a good mood, hungover, anything, like sad. It doesn't matter. Like a purpose, it doesn't matter what emotion you have, the purpose is there. So, all right, now the life's goal is to have a purpose. So I made myself do all the stuff that I hated to do. I like I never studied in my life. All right, now I'm going to study finance.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the pub on a weekend as my hobby, a bit of fun, a bit of a getaway, my hobby now is going to be learn finance.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try cheat it. I'm going to learn it raw. You
can't cheat it. Like, cheating it, you just lose.
Yeah.
You just lose money real fucking easy.
Yeah, so then the full entrepreneur came out in me like, all right, I've got one stream of income working. Let's find 2 more streams of income.
Yeah.
Even if it's $200 a week.
It's something.
Yeah, like we're moving forward. Don't have to do it forever, but let's start getting moving. And then it was, I still felt like I'm struggling a little bit because I'm still not seeing my son too much. And then it was, I'm not going to let this woman control this. I'm going to take the front step and be like, this is how things are going to go from now. And if that's not how you want it, like I have money now. See you in court.
Yeah.
Like this is how we're doing it.
It's funny how like that's all it really takes is for someone to go, nah, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I don't think a lot of people know this. A lot of people don't have kids. I've heard so much bullshit comments about what it's like. Oh, if you don't see your kids, it's because you obviously fucked up. And you're like, no, it's because someone else is a cunt.
Yeah.
And there is nothing you can do about that. Like, if you go and take your kid, it's kidnapping, but it's your kid.
Yeah.
But it's because someone says, no, you can't have him for this time period because they decided that. And then you can't decide against that because there's no real thing of stopping anyone from doing anything. Like, it's just who wants to make the kid in a more uncomfortable position. Because you can take your kid and you get the cops called. You won't have the kid taken off you and you don't have to give it back to the other parent and just do exactly what they're doing to you.
Yeah.
But then the kid suffers.
Yeah, and I never wanted to be like that.
Yeah.
So I just
put you in the shittest spot, right?
Yeah, and the thing that was like super frustrating was that no matter what you said, you had to prove it as a male at this stage. But as the primary care female, they could say whatever and that's what it was, unless you could prove it. So
that's in the Centrelink side of things and all that. But
Yeah.
the care side of things, if you remove all Centrelink and child support, there's no real actual laws that are broken from either side for someone to withhold it until it becomes parental alienation.
yeah,
So it's like if you're completely removing him, it's like, yeah, okay, it's parental alienation, 3 years in court to fucking get to see your kids. But like, either parent can do that and just take the kid and then be like, nah, fuck it.
yeah,
But it's whoever's going to be the more like asshole, whoever's going to be a bigger cunt about it, whoever's going to kick up the biggest stink, whoever's going to come to schools and make a scene,
yeah,
whoever's going to get their parents involved and being parentless like us.
yeah.
It's very fucking like you just go, well, I don't want my kid to suffer. I don't want to fucking like, how do I get more care? How do I be a better parent? How do I do this with with someone that's difficult? And I know there's plenty of dads out there that's fucking just they haven't got the fight. They haven't got the fight in. They don't know what to do. There's no fucking help, dude. None. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know this. Anyone ever has a problem with their like exes. I've read all the fucking shit. So like, call me up, I'll tell you. But there is no help out there. There's fuck all.
Nah, and I think it more comes down to your mindset, because I had this shift in everything that I did, where I just felt so comfortable in my own skin for like the first time, and I was willing to stand up for myself. And it was basically, okay, well, I'm not going to let up on this.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to spend the money in court, like I am, let's go.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm living in a good environment now. I have a very good job. I'm doing all the things right. There is no reason for you to be able to keep us apart.
Yeah.
And then it took a little bit of time, and things
There's
changed.
so much so denying they can do.
Yeah, but
before like it really fucked them over in court.
I think the big thing was not reacting.
Yeah.
And just going, this is how it's going to be. And they go, nah. And then not reacting to it, going, and then just leaving it. And then it's like, oh, I've got this in place. This is happening now.
I'm taking the steps forward to...
Yeah. Just showing you that like it wasn't a threat. And I'm not biting back to the bullshit that, you're trying to get a reaction. You're not going to get a reaction. My mind is set on this.
Yeah, I'm not arguing
and
about it.
I'm going to be relentless
This is what
about
we're doing.
Yeah. So everything that I did, I was just going to be relentless. And I started just following all the positive... all the positive people, basically all these videos that I could find, all these people that I could follow, and I'll just watch them constantly. And these...
Surprising how much they can make a difference in someone's life. Like, on the same.
Hugely. Yeah. And like, as weird as it sounds, like these... I feel like I know these people personally, just because it was like these people that I followed so heavily that it's like these guys are now my friends. This is my support crew. I don't even know these people, but I don't have any close friends because, a lot of people only want to know you to go out to the pub. No one wants to come chill with you. No one wants to just hang out. You know, no one wants to know your fucking problems either. Yeah, and they don't have to, but. That's
the problem is with that is like if they don't want to know it, but they're not got any positive message going on as well.
Yeah, for sure. Like if they're not doing anything, it was basically like if you're not doing anything with your life, if you're not a positive reinforcement in my life, then I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
And like I'm happy to catch up with you. Like I'm happy to say hi, happy to have a beer with you, but if I've got stuff on, I'm not going out of my way for you.
Yeah, you've got a destination you're aiming at.
Yeah, I've got shit to do. Yeah. I've got shit to do. So, and then every opportunity that I had from then on, I had this quote from Kevin Hart, who I like. His story's bloody impressive, and he was a bit of a shit kid. Didn't want anything to do. Wasn't leading anywhere. Yeah. And had this quote of where like a similar thing where he had this test at school, and then he had like this, there was a excursion on, and he was more worried about the excursion than doing well on the test, and all those kids did the test properly and he just winged it.
He's ABC, yeah. I've heard that story, yeah.
And so all these kids get good grades and they're off to college, and now he doesn't get to go to college.
Yeah, because he thought they were all fucking around too, but no one else was.
Yeah. And then he had this message of like, all right, maybe I should have applied myself more.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have done better. And from now on, every opportunity given will be taken seriously. And I remember hearing that going, the amount of fucking times I've had an opportunity in my life and I used my excuses to not take those opportunities.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen ever again. I'm never going to let that happen again. And I never have. Any opportunity that's been presented to me, whether or not I thought it was like a really good opportunity, because I didn't know about it, I took it seriously.
Yeah.
And I took that, and majority of the time it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to not take that up. I'm not going to miss out on that opportunity.
Yeah, no excuses anymore. It's just do.
Yeah, and I have that mentality to this day. So then going on from there, I decided I would start my own company.
Yep.
Everything led to that. I was doing jobs and I wasn't noticing my supervisors or the superintendents. The thing I was noticing was their bosses.
Yeah.
Everyone like in the industry that I was in was like, oh, I'm going to work up. I'm going to be a supervisor. And then,
it's not about having the top. It's about still working for someone.
Yeah. It was always about still working for someone. And I just had this thing of where like, I was just like, I'm over it. I'm sick of being told, I make one little mistake and then I get grilled for it.
Yeah.
But, this dude's not doing a single thing and he's making $1 squillion and this dude's reaming me because I made one simple mistake. And I remember doing so I changed careers. I started doing this work and I was naturally good at it and I loved it and I thought, this is what I want to do. That job come to an end. I started at another company. Bit different of a setup, but same thing. Like it was, all right, I'm still working for someone, did something wrong, got grilled for it by these people who would rock up to the job for 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, you did this wrong. It's like, oh.
I did that right, but can't.
Yeah, I've done 100 things right. The one thing wrong, you don't pat me on the back for the 100 things I've done right.
It's kind of the mentality of like a lot of company owners is like, you beat them down, but you're paying them. So
yeah,
they're not going anywhere. They're not getting the balls to go, fuck, I'm going to do this myself. Because a lot of people just take it and go like, oh, I did suck.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think, me personally, by the sound of you, when you've been told you suck forever and you don't actually suck that bad.
Yeah.
You're like, well, why the fuck am I listening to you?
Yeah, well, the big turning point in the decision that I made to start my own company was they had a few jobs going on at the time and the crew split to different areas. And then I was left at this job with a couple of other people and a few of them pretty inexperienced. We were doing a certain job. One of them made a mistake. The big boss rocked up. I basically took the role of like a step up from where I should have been, but what I was getting paid for. And we sort of went on a walk and then he sort of had a go at me. I had the mentality at that time to go, yeah, I could tell him to get fucked because it's someone else's fault. I'm not getting paid for this role.
Yeah.
As a lot of people would do, but I thought, I'm going to listen to him. I'm not going to take it to heart. I'm going to see what I can learn out of this. That was my mindset on that at that time. And I remember him having a go at me and I was just wearing it going, yep, all right, I'll learn from it. It won't happen again. And we just kept walking and then he stopped and he looked at the job that we had done and he just goes, oh, I'm making so much money out of this fucking job. And then I just went, okay, cool. We just went for a walk. I'm doing the work for you. I'm not getting paid for what I probably should be getting paid to do. And now you want to brag to me about how much money you're making. So that alone just went, it's time to go out my own.
Yeah.
I was still pretty inexperienced, but I just seen like a big market in it. Like they had that much work going on. They didn't even really want it. Yeah, but they didn't, they're turning down jobs. And I'm like, oh, these guys are turning down jobs. There's that much work out there that people are turning down work.
Yeah.
So I've gone, this is a perfect time to get in. So I started it. I took the risk. I went and I got my insurances in place. Went and got a few tools. Decided I was going to tell him what my plans were, that I still wanted to work full-time, but I still wanted to work part-time with him.
Yeah.
But if I start getting some work, I'm going to take a few days off to go do it. I had a couple leads on at the time for some small jobs. And then, so I told him, we went and I told him, and I was expecting him to sort of tell me to get fucked.
Yeah.
Time to move on, mate. And he sort of just went, awesome, mate. I've got some work for you if you want it. If you can get some guys, I've got some jobs for you. And I went, cool. And then...
So he was probably still making a cut.
Oh, he still would be making a cut, but it's like...
But that's
now,
good stuff for you, because now you can start.
Now I'm in. Now I'm in. And then I had a couple other calls from some people going, we got this work and that work. Do you want it? Yeah. All right. Got like a little crew together. I had this fella, Jimmy Tate. He was a supervisor that I had at my first rigging job, and he refused to get the jab. Smart man. And so he didn't have much work for a while.
Yeah.
He was getting on. He was dipping into his super, and he had a few things going on at home. But then he just went, yeah, man, I'll come out. I'll help you get started.
Yeah.
So we went out. We did a couple little jobs. I was starting to get busy, so I started trying to put a couple guys on. A fella that I'd originally talked about starting a business with wanted to get on board. Didn't want to accept the fact that I took a huge risk and that I wasn't willing to give up much of what I was doing. I didn't want to give up much of the company. And then we sort of had a bit of a falling out. Then I realised, okay, there's going to be quite a few people like this who are going to probably come in and try to take a bit of advantage of you.
Yeah. Been there before, you used to it.
So that's when I just went, all right, I'm going to find a niche and I'm going to be the best at it.
Yeah.
So I found a couple little inns, doing a few niche jobs, and all of a sudden, I was working maybe 2-3 days a week, working enough to not have to do my other job anymore as well. And then things just snowballed. I made sure I did everything the best way that I could. Like, I went out of my way. I noticed, like, in that industry, there was enough work going on where people didn't have to respect the jobs that they had.
Yeah.
They didn't respect the opportunities that they had, and it was sort of, if there was any inconvenience, they'd be like, nah, and they would make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And as soon as there was an inconvenience on my side, I just went, yep, no worries, mate. I'll sort that for you.
Yeah.
And then having that mentality, I started winning a lot more, having way more regular clients.
Yeah.
After that started to happen, and then I started realising how much money you can make, how much money is out there if you're willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
Drove this desire in me to do more than what I was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I started to go, okay, what else can I do now?
Yeah.
And all the people that I followed don't do one thing.
Yeah. There's always multiple different things.
Yeah, so I still had the mind, I talked to a few people, oh no, you just need to do this, you just, focus in on this. Before I started my business, the same people telling me, don't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. The people like you don't run construction companies.
I've got a rule. It's like, don't take any advice from someone that's not in the position you don't want to be in.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like someone that's you know, someone doesn't run a company and they're like, man, you shouldn't start a company. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I listen to you do? You
Yeah.
literally don't have a company.
Yeah, exactly.
So you
right.
are not the person that I want to hear from. Like, go away.
Yeah.
Like,
But
yeah,
it's...
if they're not in the spot you want to be in, just ignore them. Your advice is dumb.
Yeah. But it's crazy when you just decide this. Like, everyone was against it. Everyone was. There wasn't a single person that was like, yeah, man, go out and do it.
Because
there was a couple.
doing it.
Yeah, there was a couple people who did it where they would benefit from it, but the people who weren't benefit from any of it were like so against it. And then I had this like,
it's their fear.
yeah, that's what it is. I was
Yeah.
like, again, these are people, you know, unfortunately, these people were family,
Yeah.
or basically family, and it was like, I need to distance myself from these people. You were my support crew, and now it's
You're being
not the
negative.
same. You're
Yes.
being
Yeah.
You've gone to being negative, and then it's like you do well, and it's like, oh well, and then they want to be about it again,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah.
And it's the same, yeah. Then the same people, you know, oh, I'm gonna go do this. Oh, but you're already doing that. It's like, yeah, I know, but I can continue to grow. I can have multiple income streams, and
I've got time, so I can do it.
if you want to be a millionaire, if you have one income,
It's not
it's
happening.
not going to happen.
No.
Realistically, it's not going to happen unless you just hit like a miracle. It's not going to happen. So now I'm sitting on 4 income streams,
Yeah.
and like a lot of them, like 3 of them, I spend about 2 hours a week on,
Yeah.
which is nothing, and they're growing, which gives me time to do other stuff. So my construction company is my main source of income,
Yeah.
and it's quite good, and it just, that takes so much pressure off to be able to do other stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people get stuck, is they're being told from a young age to go get a job and build your way up and become a supervisor.
That's the school system. The school system is to create workers, not to create fucking people that work outside the box.
100%.
I remember trying to teach one of my ex's kids to sell chocolates at school.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, what do you mean you can't do that? You just fucking do it. Dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, some other kid got busted for it. And I was like,
Yeah,
you
be
go tell
smarter.
that kid. I was like, you go tell that kid, say, my dad said, you're a legend. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. You
Yeah.
keep selling your chocolates. And he was like, why? And I was like, that kid will be a millionaire when he's older.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? I was like, that kid is taken out, doing things he's not allowed to do, which is basic fucking supply and demand.
Yeah.
They ain't got chocolates at the canteen. I can bring the chocolates into the school. I can buy them for 20 cents a piece. I can sell them for $1. I make fucking cash. That kid's thinking that way already because he needs money for a reason.
Yeah.
I was like, if he applies himself as he gets older, it'll work. I was like, so you just tell him like, he might not have an adult out there that's telling him this. Just tell him, I don't know him, but he's doing the right shit.
No, I couldn't agree more, and I love seeing these young little entrepreneurs and just going out doing their thing. And always, I couldn't. There's a couple of kids that I know now that are doing their own thing. You know, they want to be YouTubers, or they've got all these little plans that they got going on. There's one little kid, he makes these juices and sells these juices, and it's like, this kid's 8 years old, man.
Yeah.
This kid's 8. But, you know, like it sounds silly. It probably is silly. But in his mind, he's like,
That is the first
I am going to
step,
make
man.
$30.
Yeah.
Like, you know? And
Well,
it's like,
I used
cool.
to door knock and wash cars when I was 10 for
Yeah.
$2.50.
Yeah, dude.
First job I ever had was one that I created.
Yeah.
And I was walking down the fucking street, knocking on doors, being like, I wash car for $2.50. Probably wasn't even eating good at it.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You're just out there hustling.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've just got this wild, like, hustler mentality now. And now what, you know, like I follow all these people that are just doing all different random stuff. And I just, like, I always get behind them. Like, I've got a mate, he's, like, crazy into his, like, reefs. And he spawn, like, he frags reef and collects all these different types of reefs and does all this cool stuff. And I just remember him telling me, like, when I was younger, like, I loved this stuff and people used to pick on me. So I was like real self-conscious about it. I probably didn't get into it as much. And I was like, that's the fucking problem.
It is.
Like, that's the problem. All these people are doing this shit that they love, but someone else doesn't like it. So now
they convince you it's shit.
Yeah.
When it's like, why? Because
Yeah.
you don't like it.
Yeah.
It's people. I think a lot of people don't realize it. Is a lot of people try and convince people that something is crap because they don't enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
And that, like, kids, that's definitely a massive thing. I think, like, luckily for me, skateboarding is one of those things is everyone already hates you if you're a skater.
Oh,
So when you start skating, everyone's like, well, you're a dickhead. And you're like, you thought that anyway.
yeah.
Like, so I'm just the same person now, but I do something I like that's cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like, it's the same as like anything like that, and it's my mind goes into these places where it's like, man, you could be the best at that.
Yeah.
You know, there's not many people doing that. You could be the pinnacle of that. Stop listening to these people and just go balls deep. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Don't stop yourself. Don't listen to these people, even if it's your parents, you know, like,
Dude, they can be the worst.
yeah, and most of the time that they are, I see these people and I talk to them, they're like, oh, no, I'm decided not to do it for this and that. It's like, cool, man. But
I think a lot of parents need to realise their fear needs to fuck off.
yeah,
Like, if you're imposing your fear on a kid, just don't do that. Do the complete opposite. Like, instead, if you're like, oh, man, you're not going to have a job, you're going to suffer. Like, good. Jobs suck.
yeah.
Like,
Like, suffering's good, man. Yeah. Suffering is good. Suffering's what, you know, if you survive the suffering, there's only good to come out of surviving suffering. There's never, you never see anyone who's suffered, they come out at the end of it and their life's worse. It's always better. So, like, suffering's so good. Like, the best example is, you know, like, people who go to the gym and stuff. The whole time they're suffering.
Sucks.
It's not. As much as they say, oh, you know, it's fun and I need this.
Whoever thinks the gym is fun, it must be sick, man. Because it fucking sucks.
But, like, I think it's fun to them because...
The result.
Yeah, but it's like, it's fun to them because they're doing something that not everyone does.
Yeah.
And they've got that mindset now of, like, I don't care. Because, you know, like, before I had this mindset and I was this miserable dude, it's like, why are you going to the fucking gym for? You wasting all this time at the fucking gym to what, get like a few muscles. Like, cool, man. What's that going to do for you in life?
But
it's
saying that to someone is absolutely pointless because, like, it's like you're just convincing them of what you don't like anyway.
Exactly right. Yeah, that was my perception because I was like, fuck
I
don't want to go to the fucking gym. Yeah. So, yeah, and like all that, just like but it's so cool now with like the way that social media works, and you see all these dudes who do all this random stuff that, like, before they become big, people would have told them they're fucking idiots. Like these dudes who paint fucking shoes, man. They get white shoes, they paint stuff. Now people are getting paid like $5,000 to do it for famous people, for NBA players, and it's like, dude's painting shoes, man, and he's filming it now.
Yeah.
So he's making like $100,000 a month off just like filming it, because now people were like interested. Before that, could you imagine the first dude who decided to paint on shoes and like try to sell it?
It's just like it sounds dumb.
Yeah,
like, no
but
shit,
now
but
it's like,
not.
For some dude, he's making millions of dollars a year doing it.
But one of my kids is fucking obsessed with these people that make dioramas on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, they just build these fucking landscapes and he just loves watching it. And I'm like, this is not anything I'm interested in. Like, it looks cool once it's done and you're like, yeah, it's kind of cool they did it. But he's just like fucking getting into it hard. And in my head, I'm like, man, that fucking sucks. Like, I'm not interested in this at all. But if he's like, Dad, he did this, I'm just like, yeah, sick. Because I don't want to be like, yeah, dude, that's boring.
Yeah.
Because he fucking loves it. And he's like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, yeah, cool. That sounds sick. Like, cool.
Yeah, man, my little boy collects rocks. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, man, whatever rocks your boat, man, let's go.
Sticks, man. Everywhere. Fucking steel sticks from everything. I'm like, you can't take these, dude.
Yeah.
Put them back in the bush. We've got like 56 at home. Like,
Yeah.
Don't want another collection of sticks. And one time he knew one of the sticks was gone. Like he left it in the middle of his room, and his room was a pigsty, and I threw the stick out, and he's like, "Where'd that stick go?" And I was like, "What stick?"
Yeah.
And he's like,
The
"This one that had this shape," and I was just like, "Fuck, dude,
Yeah.
it's in the bin. Like, how the fuck do you remember that one stick?" And he's like, "Oh man," and I'm like, "Look, don't leave your sticks in dumb places, bro."
Yeah. No, but like, you know, I'm just like, oh man, you know, you can make a career out of rocks. Like, rocks is a thing.
There is a comedian. I don't know if you've seen this clip, a guy called Cam Patterson, and he was on fucking Kill Tony one time, and he's just like, "I'm not retarded or anything, but I really like rocks," and he was just had these rocks in his pocket and shit, and from there he's like selling out theaters and shit, doing comedy shows, and he sells rocks that he signs as merchandise.
Yeah, right.
Like, and that was just because he made this fucking funny ass line when they're like, "Oh, what do you want to tell us about?" He's like, "I'm not retarded, but I like rocks."
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing, man. Like, just run with it.
Yeah.
You know, how many people would have... The first person that started a podcast. Now look at podcast. You know, like, first person who started a podcast, people would be like, no one's going to listen to you talk shit for 2 hours. No one.
Oh, people still are like, man, 2 hours is hell long. And I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Don't listen to it, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Then you look at people like fucking Joe Rogan, and he's like... He's a household name. Everybody knows who he is.
He's got more people listen to his shit than any other news outlet in the world.
Yeah, but he just sits there and he but he doesn't do clickbait. He just talks to people, and he doesn't try like sugarcoat anything, and it's all just like raw and real. And I think that's what everyone's missing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like where I got at in life was. We're in a good spot now.
Yeah.
Where I could never imagine feeling like how I did. I can't imagine how I felt at that time. I could still remember I knew I had that feeling.
But you don't think you'd ever get back there again?
I don't think I could have that feeling in me.
Yeah.
The mindset that I changed was like, who I was yesterday does not determine who I'm going to be today.
Yeah.
And people can have this thought of me of being that person, but I've changed now, and that's okay if they've got that thought. Yeah. But I've changed, and now I'm on this trajectory where things are going to be so positive, and you know, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah,
but they're not going
to put you back there.
They're not going to affect me in a bad way. Like I'm ready for it now. I'm a lot mentally stronger. I've built a resilience to negative people, and I think the biggest thing is just like those negative people, not letting them.
Just not listen to them at all.
Yeah.
Just like don't take in any of the shit. Like if someone's not in the spot you want to be in, whatever they're saying doesn't matter. And
you look into their life, like, they got shit going on too.
Dude, everyone's got shit going on. And the minute all they're doing by fucking talking your shit is avoiding theirs.
Oh, 100%. It's just like, you're hiding your stuff. You're hiding your problems.
Well, you're hiding it from yourself. If you have to focus on making someone else feel bad for whatever reason, if you've got to like point out, oh no, this is fucked, this is all this about you, like if you're doing that to someone, it's because you don't even want to think about what you got. Yeah. If you like someone inside is thinking, oh, this is a really good way to avoid me talking shit about myself or thinking about myself, pointing out you makes me feel a little bit better. But on that note, before we wrap it up, I've got a question for you. Yeah. What would you say to 20-year-old self you, homeless you, if there's anything you could say now, what would be like the thing you would say to them to be like, if someone else was listening to this, happens to be in the exact same position, was homeless, is like got no real fucking support thing, got nothing really good going on, what would be like the one thing you'd say to them?
Well, the first thing would be, you know, people say, it's okay to not be okay. It's not okay to not be okay. That's the first thing. You need to sort yourself out first. There's no magic pill. There's no magic pill. There's no pharmaceutical drug that they're going to give you to change how you feel. They will numb it. It will prolong it. You need to make those decisions in your life. You need to make those real hard decisions, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
But you need to set yourself up. What I would suggest would be, you've got to find that job. That job doesn't have to be forever, but you need to get some money, and you need to save enough money for you to then start working out what you want to do. So give yourself a platform to start from first. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a slow grind back, but it can be so worth it. It is so worth it.
It's steps, not jumps.
Exactly right. And it's brick by brick. And if you lay each brick perfectly, you're going to have a great wall. And just stop worrying about what other people think, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, cut those people out that are negative in your life. Your only friends, you might only have a couple good friends, but they're just not good people to be around.
Well, there's that old saying, don't drink the poison because you're thirsty.
Yeah. So you have to make that really tough decision. If you actually want to make something of your life and get yourself together and get yourself out of that situation and actually build a life with purpose, you need to cut out all these people no matter what. And it doesn't matter if you've been friends from a young age, doesn't matter if it's your brother and you've both grown up the same and he just doesn't want to, if he's not willing to get himself out of that situation as well, you need to make that really tough call of cutting it off there. You got to, cut the arm off to save the body. So parents, other family members, friends, you got to get rid of them, and you've just got to start from square one. There's no cheat codes, there's no shortcuts. It's just brutal. It's really brutal, and it takes a long time, but man, I look back now, couldn't be more proud of where I am. And I get told it all the time, like it's really amazing from where you were to where you are, and it's like cool. I like, it's cool that you think that way, but back then you didn't do anything for me, so those words really don't mean much to me.
Yeah.
I'm happy with what I've done.
Yeah.
And that's what matters most to me and my support crew now. If, they're happy with what I'm doing, and yeah, that's all that really matters. So just build yourself a solid support crew, get everyone around you that's positive, fucking cut out all the negative stuff, even quit social media. You don't need it. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. Like, everyone just wants to show you this life that they don't fucking live. Yeah. No one lives like they do on social.
Or the complete opposite, and just bitch about everything.
Yeah. And don't follow any news sources. Start following.
If it's not in your fucking immediate world, just avoid it. Like, that's probably number one. Is like, people in Australia are talking about a war in Russia and Ukraine. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Which literally doesn't do anything to us. You're not going to notice it. The more you think about that, the more you waste time learning about something better.
Exactly right. Another thing is, the government's not going to do anything to help you.
It's just a fucking Ponzi scheme.
It is.
Just take your cash.
Yeah, so stop relying on people. The government's not going to help you. There's no magic pill. The police aren't there to help you. You need to build up yourself and be resilient and reliable on yourself.
Sweet. Great fucking story. Like, there's been a good listen.
Cheers, brother.
Anything that you want to plug before we shut it off?
Well, I've got a bit going on. I'll probably put some links to when this gets posted.